to our top story, and that is, of course, the cargo ship approaching Canada's west coast. Until it docks, we won't know exactly who the people are on board, how many there are, whether they're sick. The Sri Lankan government hasn't yet issued an official statement on the ship. It's said to be carrying up to 500 Tamils. But we are going to talk right now with Sri Lanka's High Commissioner to Canada. Joining me from Ottawa is Chitrangani Vageswara. I want to welcome you to our program, High Commissioner. When you heard about this story, your phone probably started ringing off the hook. I'm wondering what you make of it when you hear that a shipload of Tamils is coming to land on the west coast of Canada.
Yes. As you know, this ship has been in the Asian waters since May, and Sri Lanka, Canada, as well as the other countries in the region knew about the movement of this particular ship since May, for almost 3 months. And the information we have is that this is a human smuggling exercise. It is an human smuggling operation managed by the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam. The Tamil Tiger movement, it's linked to the Tamil Tiger movement, and we understand that there may be around 200 or maybe over 200 passengers, illegal immigrants, who are now trying to land in Canada.
Any idea how many of them may be linked or members of the Tamil Tigers, which, as you know, is considered a terrorist group here in Canada?
Yes, we don't have the exact number, but we think a considerable number of the illegal immigrants are linked to this human smuggling exercise. As you know, the Tamil Tiger movement is, as you mentioned, is a proscribed, it's a banned organization in Canada, and Sri Lanka was fighting this terrorist movement for nearly 30 years. It was in last May that our military managed to defeat this organization, but at the same time we know, though the movement was eliminated, the movement is totally eliminated, has been totally eliminated in Sri Lanka. They had a huge network outside the country, international network outside the country, many cells in many different countries, including in Canada. They were involved in fundraising, extortion, then purchasing arms, ammunition, explosives for the movement to keep the war going in Sri Lanka. And this is the international network in action, because
I'm hearing, we've got a couple of reporters who obviously are working on this story. Our Ottawa correspondent is telling us Vic Taves is on his way to deal with this on the West Coast himself. If the minister asked for your advice, you know, if he called and said, "Hi, Commissioner, what do you think we should do with this ship?" what would you say?
Yeah, we would tell the Canadian government that the ship should not be allowed to come into Canadian waters, because these are people, human smugglers who have got these people and trying to smuggle in people illegally, and trying to abuse the Canadian system, the Canadian immigration laws. And that is something that the Canadian government should be cautious and be aware of. Yes.
You certainly know about other ships that have been allowed into Canada with Tamil migrants on them. Some of them have told their stories and said they risked their lives to free Sri Lanka because they were persecuted by the government there. If, High Commissioner, we sent these people back to Sri Lanka, what kind of treatment would they receive in that country?
No, I totally reject what is being said. Naturally they will come up with all sorts of stories to get their refugee status in this country. There is no conflict anymore. There is total peace. There are Tamils living in Sri Lanka, and they are getting on. You know, now after the war, they are very happy. They are relieved that they can get on with their lives, their children can be educated, and there are lots of programs going on in Sri Lanka, projects to build the areas that were devastated because of the conflict.
So, do you think maybe this is a Sri Lankan government problem, that your government, your country should take care of them, not let them get to this point where it's now Canada's worry?
You know, we would not want these people to go out, but these are, as I said, human smuggling activities are not done openly. They will secretly arrange these movements of ships, get people on board, and this is, if it's 200, it's a large number that they have got them on board this ship, and it's difficult for us to stop them. And let me say that they have been in Asian waters for the last 3 months. They were first heading towards Australia, we understand.
Yeah, Australia said no. Yeah, Australia turned them away because they have a policy. I think it's the only country to do that. But do you think maybe we have too big a heart as Canadians? You know, we say, okay, these people are in trouble. Some would say that the wealth of a nation is how it treats its less fortunate and its humanitarian sort of efforts. Do you think that gives us a reputation of being too lenient, maybe?
You know, as I said earlier, they are abusing the generosity of Canadians, the Canadian system and some Canadian laws. If you want people to come in, there is a legitimate system where people can apply, go to the high commissions in the respective countries, apply, and according to the points, get people in, get people to migrate legally. But you also don't want people coming in illegally. And also making use of the facilities available, the welfare system. It's a strain on the taxpayers. The government has to pay for their the welfare, for their housing, for their medical, and I'm sure the Canadians don't want that sort of system to go on.
Yeah, you know, when I started this interview, I was trying to think of how you would answer certain questions, and I thought you would say, High Commissioner, these people need help. Canada should allow them in, and you kind of surprised me.
No, I mean, if they are connected, they are linked to a terrorist movement, which is also prescribed by Canada. I mean, Canada has prescribed this organization in 2006. And as I say, this is another side of the same coin. This is the international network, because though the war is no longer there in Sri Lanka, the conflict is no longer there, the international network is intact, their money is intact, some of the leaders are intact, and they are posing off. There are front organizations that are still going on with fundraising, their political propaganda work, and still continuing and even trying to regroup. That is why we understand even the earlier ship that came in, the Ocean Lady, there were the people linked to the LTTE, and the Canadian, we know, we have been speaking to the Canadian government, and Canadians don't want these sort of people, these undesirable elements to come in.
I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me. It was a pleasure to have you on the program. Thank you.